Hey, this your girl, Michelle Diva. I am bringing you another episode of The Real Housewives of Miami, Season 7, Episode 15, Birthday Blues Cruise. I keep wanting to say Blues Clues, but it's Birthday Blues Cruise, okay? Anyway, if you are new here, welcome. Welcome, 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 welcome. We do reviews here, okay, good people, okay? We family, we act up around here. Anyway, if you're returning, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. All right, give me a thumbs up, like and share and comment and subscribe to my channel, and we will begin. All right, so it was the next morning. They still on this cruise, right? So Kiki and Julia on the deck. They not participating in the 80s aerobics. So they on the deck sunbathing, okay? While everybody else is downstairs participating. And I don't think Lisa was there though. But majority of the people were there. I don't think Adriana was there either. But Larsa, Stephanie, Guerdy, they were downstairs, and I think it was another person, but I can't remember. They were downstairs, getting their 80s aerobics on, honey. Guerdy come in there with her little fanny pack on, her little leotard, talking about, give me a beat. Dun, 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 dun. Janet Jackson, Rhythm Nation. We have Rhythm Nation. Yeah. Yeah, so then Stephanie and Larsa come skipping in too with their little leotards on and their leg warmers and stuff like that. So they had a good time. And so everybody, I think, Alexia was there too. Everybody is reminiscing, and Marysol too. Marysol, Alexia, Larsa, Stephanie, and Guerdy. Um, Marysol, no, everybody's reminiscing about what they did in the 80s, okay? Guerdy said she came to America in 88 when she was 9, okay? So and she didn't speak no English, okay? Alexia was dating a cocaine cowboy in the 80s. She said she didn't know, but that sounds suspicious. Cocaine cowboy. Okay, cocaine cowboy. Anyway, and Larsa said she had a crush on Bon Jovi. And so the producer was like, John Bon Jovi, that's not your type. And she was like, oh, that's absolutely my type. Yes, baby, because he rich. Okay? She don't care what they look like. Okay? She only care what their pockets look like. So if it's a white boy with long hair, okay? If he rich, he rich. Okay? Okay? If it's a black athlete, okay, he rich. Okay, so John Bon Jovi was absolutely her type. Okay, cause him rich. Okay, she don't care what they look like. Okay, him rich. Okay, so yeah, Marysol said she was working out in the 80s in her teenage year. Come here, Marysol. You wasn't in your teenage years in in the 70s. I mean, in the 80s. You was in your teenage years in the 70s, both. Okay, in the 70s. Okay, you was in your 20s in the 80s. Okay, don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Okay, you may have been 19 in 1981. Don't get it twisted, okay? You wasn't in your things. But she said she worked out in the 70s because she was in her teens, okay? You wasn't in your damn things. Anyway. It was the early 80s. Steph said she was 4 in the 80s. And her husband was in college. Okay. Yeah, just like Marysol. Just like Marysol, she was in college too. Okay, don't act. So after aerobics, they all sitting around talking about how Larsa needs to fix it with Lisa. This old raggedy bootleg beef. She's supposed to fix it with Larsa. Basically, they said, "Listen, this beef is run its course. Y'all need to fix it, or else y'all both be cast off the island." I don't blame them. I don't blame them. This is a made up beef. I don't care. I swear to God, her, Lisa and Larsa was like, listen, we gonna start arguing about how you need to unfollow Marcus. Okay, that's their storyline. Cause if they didn't have that storyline, Lisa at least got her divorce. Okay, Larsa don't have nothing, nothing. Her son walked in the fashion show, um, the first or the second episode, and that was it. Okay, Larsa don't have nothing, so Larsa has to make this beef up with Lisa. Anyway, so back to the um the deck. Kiki got her legs open. She said her vajayjay need vitamin D. Mm-hmm.
Stop it. Get some help.
Okay. Anyway. Oh, the rest of the ladies joined Kiki and Julia on the deck. I think except for Lisa and Larsa. And I think Adriana came in later. Um, Steph comes in. Kiki asked Steph about why was Adriana so quiet on the shit. I mean, quiet at dinner, and I was like, I don't think Steph know. But they said that she's depressed because her birthday. Okay. Okay. And I've already let Adriana know about her and this birthday bullshit. Okay. Check my last video on that one, because I had to set her straight. Okay. Girl. People treat you differently. No. No, they don't treat you. And you should be grateful that they treat you differently. Okay? It's okay. Okay. You need to find something to do. You need to find something to do, child. If you stop trying to be young and act like your age, you people won't treat you differently. But they gonna treat you differently if you trying to act young. Okay. And you 59 years old. Girl. Anyway. Um yeah, so then Adriana, joins them on the deck, and it was radio silent. Okay. When she come up, honey. Okay. But anyway. So Lisa and Larsa meet up at the bar. They talk about this stupid shit again. Okay. Larsa was like, it hurt me when you said the paparazzi. I paid the paparazzi to take this picture of Marcus, everything like that. Um, but Alexia told Larsa when they were doing that 80s aerobics, she was like, listen, uh, Larsa, don't bring up the past. Y'all just need to move forward. Okay? Y'all just need to move forward. But Lisa, on the other hand, in the confessional, she was just like, she say that to Larsa, but she said in the confessional she don't want to go backwards. She just want to agree to disagree and move forward. So then Lisa was like, listen, I miss you. She said, I don't want to fight anymore. And they hug. Boo. Okay. Okay. Boo. And Lisa said, I did unfollow you, Larsa, so I'm going to follow you back. This is that disagreement or whatever they want to call it was stupid, and I think it was made up for TV. Moving on. Marysol said, I rented the spa. Y'all can have whatever you like. You can have whatever you like. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Stack some dick. So nice. You can have whatever you like. Yeah, so she rented out the spa, honey. You can have whatever you like. Larsa texts Stephanie saying her and Lisa made up. Everybody excited about that. Ooh-wee. So Kiki said, okay, well, all right, Stephanie, so what about you and Alexia? Y'all gonna make up? So Alexia was like, well, I get blamed for everything when more than likely it's Marysol's fault. She threw Marysol right under the bus, okay? The first time, okay? This is the first time. She gonna throw her under the bus a couple more times, okay? But she said, I get blamed for everything when more than likely it is Marysol's fault. Okay? Stephanie said, well, how about we talk with by ourselves so we won't have all of this audience, okay? We could talk by ourselves. So Kiki was like, well, listen, I'll take off a piece of clothing for every argument or whatever that's solved. And Marysol was like, Kiki, I'm tired of seeing your titties. She said, I want to see your dick. All right. So my question is this, Marysol, come to the front. Are you making a joke, or do you think Kiki is a trans male or trans female? Trans female. Hello. Is this thing on? Are you making a joke? Or do you actually believe that Kiki is a trans female? Because why would you even say, I want to see your dick? Okay, I'm just asking for a friend. Do you think she a trans female? I mean, she was airing out her for JJ. Okay. Do you think she a trans female? I'm just asking. It sounds suspicious to me. It sounds, or she may want to see your coochie. Okay, she may want to see your vajayjay. Okay, she may, she be squeezing on, Alexia's make believe ass, and she has a fondness for Larsa's ass and stuff like that. So she may want to see what's in between your legs and stuff. So maybe she want to see your coochie. I don't know. Marysol, answer that for me, please. Answer that. Okay, were you joking? Do you think that she's a trans female? Or do you want to see her coochie? I just want to know. I just want to know. Moving on. So they go to the spa. They got the plunge pools, the little cold plunge pools. They got the hot tub, and they got the mud baths, and they got the little warm marble. I don't know why you want to lay on warm marble, but hey, the warm marble. Okay. Well, I think I would rather the marble be warm than cold. So yeah. Okay. So I'm okay with that. Okay. Anyway, and it's organic mud. Okay, that's what it is. Uh-huh. It's organic mud. Okay. Okay. That's expensive. Okay. Okay, that's expensive. Anyway, so Kiki come with her little cute pink outfit. Okay, and then Guerdy walk up behind her and just lift her skirt on up. But it was a little bathing suit outfit. It was cute though. Kiki, that was cute enough. And I'm a pink girl, so as you see, I'm a pink girl. So I would have rocked that if I had that body. Okay. Anyway, Lisa and Larsa come holding hands. Okay. Okay. All right. Good for you. Okay. Then Larsa sit down and Marysol sit down. So Julia is massaging Larsa and Marysol's feet. Okay. Just all up in there. Larsa sitting there, Marysol sitting there, and they both got one foot, and she just. And Adriana got that stank face looking like, you don't do this for me. We've been friends for decades, and you don't do this shit for me, bitch. Bitch, that's what she want to say. So Guerdy and Adriana go off by themselves, and Guerdy's telling her about her couples therapy and how her husband wants her to go to individual therapy because she needs that. And so she said, I need to talk about my upbringing. She said, Guerdy said it's gonna be hard to go back there. It's gonna be hard to go back there. Bless her heart, child. Bless her heart. Stephanie and Alexa go sit by themselves and they talk. And so Steph's like, well, listen, when I started crying in Spain or whatever about how y'all acting a goddamn fool and I'm tired of all this shit and all that other stuff, she said, when y'all got in the car with me, she said, because Larsa was sitting in the back with her. And then Marysol and Lexi was sitting up front. When y'all got in the car with me, I thought we were friends, But then when it comes to the next day, because we had already planned about how the seating arrangement was gonna go, but when it came to the next day, they said that you weren't coming on the plane, and Julia said it was because that I had too many rules and I was bossy. Then I felt some sort of way, and I agree, Stephanie. I agree. We thought. You thought that they were your friends and stuff like that. Y'all bonded, hugged and stuff, and then all of a sudden they don't come on the trip. What's the problem? What's the beef? What we got going on? Yeah, I get it, Stephanie. I get it. So Alexia was like, well, she said, well, we do think you're bossy. Yeah, she was like, but she said our thing was, if we just got into any another disagreement or things like that, that you would leave us stranded out there. And then she said also Marysol was upset because you and Adriana had lunch. Okay. So Marysol was upset that you and Adriana was getting close. So she decided not to go on the trip. So Marysol didn't want to go on the trip because you had so many rules. She didn't like you hanging out with Adriana, and you'll leave us stranded. I basically, Alexia's like, I had nothing to do with that. I was just trying to hang out with my friend because she wasn't going, so I didn't go either. So this the second time that Alexia threw Marysol under the bus. Okay, this the second time. Okay, and this the one episode. This is the second time. First and second. This is the second time. Okay, yeah. So. So then Steph was like, well, maybe Marysol has a problem with me. And so Alexi was like, well, you two different people. She said, I just have a bigger mouth. She said, I wanted to go, but Marysol didn't. It's the third time she throwing Marysol under the bus. It's the third time, okay? Okay. Okay, all right. So Alexia is throwing Marysol straight under the bus. So Stephanie was like, well, you remind me of my sister. She was just like, she said, but I haven't spoken to her. And then Alexia started crying, talking about she ain't spoken to her sister either. She was just like, her sister always judging her on her decisions in life, and so she ain't spoken to her sister. And so they hug, and I'm not going to say anything about Alexia crying right now, so I'm gonna give her these violins. Yeah, because I usually be like, what the fuck you crying for? Why you always crying? But I'm gonna let that go. She crying over her sister. And Stephanie crying over her sister. My Tatika. She crying over her sister. So hey, I'm gonna let that go. Let me give you these violins again. All right. That's enough. Okay. So anyway, so they go to the Crimson dinner because on Virgin Voyages they have a night where you have to wear red. I would have to buy something that's red because I have nothing, and I have absolutely nothing red. Okay. I really don't. I'm not a red person. I'm a pink person. If it was pink, I would slay every night of the week, honey. But I don't have any red. So if I go on a Virgin Voyage cruise, when I go on a Virgin Voyages cruise, I have to buy some red because I don't have any red. I don't. I just don't. I'm not. I look good in any color, honey. Any color. Okay. I'm just not a red person. I'm a pink person. I'm pink, purple. I got purple too. Okay. Pink, purple, black, and white. And navy blue. That's it. Those are my colors. I don't do green like that. I don't do yellow like that. Okay. Unless I'm on the beach. I do yellow on the beach. But I don't do green like that. I don't do yellow like that. And I don't do red like that. Okay. And I don't really do brown like that either. But black, white, navy, pink, and purple. And I don't really do purple like that. But those are my colors. Those are my standard colors, okay? So, but yeah. So I would have to buy something red cuz I don't really do red like that. No, it is what it is. Anyway, where we at? Crimson dinner. Okay. So, Lisa is on time again. And now I figure out why Lisa is on time. Lisa has nothing, no distractions. Okay, she ain't got Jody there. She ain't got her kids there. She don't have nothing. She go back to her room, and she got people who gonna dress her. So she has no reason to be late to anything because she she has no distractions. When she out on land, she got too many distractions, that come above going to um, film with her friends. Okay, filming is down here, and Jody and the kids is up here, and I can see why the kids up here. But Jody, you a grown man. Fuck you until this filming stop. Okay, okay. You a grown man. You figure it out, okay? But the kids, they still need you. But Jody, figure it out until till the filming stop, and then we can come back, okay? Anyway, so yeah, so that's the reason why Lisa's on time. So she on time again, and she gonna make everybody know, let everybody know that she on time. Okay, Guerdy. What the fuck do you have on? Okay. Guerdy. Guerdy. What's her name? Larsa said she looked like she is. What she said? She looked like she said she is dressed up like she's going to a swinger party in Fort Lauderdale. I said, hell no. She said she going to a swinger party. Guerdy, what the hell you have on? She had like a little mask that come like right here, and then she got like horns and shit. What the fuck? Guerdy, come on, girl. So then Kiki gonna ask, and she gonna ask everybody when the last time you had sex. So Guerdy was like, 2 days ago. Yes, yes, honey, yes, 2 days ago, yes. And Kiki looking mad. What you mad about? She got a husband. What you mad about? She got a husband. Hell, she the only one that has a husband except for Tatika. Okay. And Marysol, but I know they ain't doing nothing. Okay. In that lavender marriage. Okay, allegedly. Okay, that lavender marriage. I know they ain't doing nothing, okay. But she got a husband. A fine husband at that. Okay. So I can definitely say that she the only one that got a fine husband. Masood looked like he was fine back in the day. Okay. He looked like he was fine back in the day. But okay, so yeah, so she got a little attitude and stuff like that. So then Alexia, well, she admits that she had sex a couple days ago too, and everybody was like, "Well, who you having sex with? Who you having sex with?" And then Lisa was like, "It's a booty call," and she was like, "No, it's my husband. He's not a booty call." Hey, Alexia. Your husband can be a booty call for you or somebody else, okay? Catch them T's, okay? He could be a booty call for you or somebody else. Okay. Somebody else, okay? He could be for you or somebody else. Okay. So you can have a booty call with your husband, or your husband can have a booty call with somebody else. Catch them T's, boo. Okay. So they bring out this birthday cake and they put on the cake 32 times 2 minus 5.
Oh my God! Oh hell no! Me personally, I wouldn't take this level of disrespect.
Oh, that is wrong. That is wrong. That is wrong. That is wrong. Oh, Jesus Christ. So she disrespectfully wipes that 32 times 2 minus 5 equals 59. They didn't put the 59, but we are, we can do math, okay? Yeah. But then after that they party, okay? So they get off the cruise. Oh, so okay, so Logan getting Lisa's son Logan getting a haircut. Kiki trying to call her son Shamar. He not answering. Summer in the back seat talking about maybe he kissing a girl. Maybe he kissing a boy. We don't know. Okay? We don't know. Or maybe he just sleep, okay? He can kiss a girl, he can kiss a boy, or maybe he just sleeping, okay? We don't know, okay? Anyway, Guerdy goes to therapy. Guerdy said her and her brother came to America around in 87, 88 when she was 9. She said she didn't speak a lick of English. She said they were dropped off with family members she don't know. Okay. She said it felt like a prison. And she said, I felt like, what did I do wrong? And she said her first name is Alicia, Alishaba. And I said, that's a beautiful name, Alishaba. And so, but she said a lot of people couldn't pronounce it, so she went by her middle name, Guerdy. And so then the therapist asked, how is that showing up in your life today? And so she was talking about how Julia threw that water on her. And she said she felt she said it brought me back to the childhood where I felt isolated. And yeah, so she said that she resents her parents for dropping her off. At 9, she said, my son is 11 and I couldn't imagine dropping him off anywhere for any reason, but it was a different time back then. So you got to give your parents grace. They thought they were doing the best for you, and look where you are now, but yeah, it was a different time back then, though, child. So Marysol invites Alexia and Frankie to have her and dinner with her and Steve. Frankie said, Marysol, I don't want you to get too drunk. He said, little drunk, just a little drunk, okay, not too drunk. Steve cooked a great dinner. Marysol's plate was empty. I mean, literally, it was empty. Nothing, no food was on it. Now, everybody else had food, but Marysol said she ate some vegan cheese. She not real hungry, but you should at least had a little bit on your plate so you can at least taste it. That was rude, okay? That was rude. That's why we already know that's the reason why you and the Lavender married as as we speak. So Alexia said, well, soon we will all be going out together. And so everybody was looking like, what? And she was like, yeah, me and Todd and you and Marysol and Steve.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll be all going out together, According to Marysol, Steve don't like Todd because apparently how he treated Alexia, whatever. Then soon as they start talking about Ty start texting Alexia. Boo. Boo. Anyway, Steph getting ready for this Christmas party. Adriana is supposed to sing. She got a band. She said she got the musicians, all the best musicians from Miami, and all they did the Miami Sound Machine with Gloria Estefan, and I'm quite sure Tatika don't know who the fuck this lady Gloria Estefan is, but she know because she 59. Okay, so. And so, yeah, so, and she Adriana said she writes songs and she performs songs. I was just like, I ain't know that about her. And also, they're going to give her art show, to display. And so Adriana says Steph did a lot more for me than people that I've known decades, and we all know who you talking about, Julia. Okay, she said she's done a lot for me in the few months that I've known her than a lot of people have done for me, and I've known them 10 plus decades or whatever. So yes, honey, we know you talking about Julia. We know, because Julia is a narcissist. She just wants people. She wants the attention on her. She don't want to do nothing for you. She don't want to do for you. That's the reason why her daughters don't talk to her, because she don't want the attention on you. She wants the attention all on her. Okay, that's the reason why she threw water on Guerdy, because that's when whatever Guerdy was gonna say was gonna make her look bad, and she didn't want her to look bad. So she a narcissist. She just wants the attention on her. Okay, so you ain't gonna never get a good friend out of Julia, because she's a narcissist. Okay, check them T's, boo. All right. Anyway, moving on. So, yeah. So Adriana putting on an art show, like I said. Stephanie was like, you've been so happy. She was just like, she's like, why were you so depressed on the cruise? She was like, well, I miss my boyfriend, and I just don't like confrontation. I'm sensitive, and when everybody's arguing and stuff, I don't like that. So, so then Steph said Marysol doesn't like us being friends. And so Adriana was like, that is so high school. She was just like, she said, but I've been saying Marysol is the puppet master, and Alexia does Marysol's dirty work. She said, I've been saying that for a long time. She was like, Marysol's been in PR for a long time, so she know how to, manipulate people. And so Steph was like, listen, she was like, so I know who I'm up against now. She was like, but if you come for me, bitch, you better hit that bullseye, because if you don't, there will be no holds bar off your ass. That is not what she said, but she said, I don't miss. Okay. But in the words of Mama Joyce, there will be nothing that'll keep me off your ass, Todd. And I think that's what Stephanie gonna say. There will be nothing that's gonna keep me off your ass, Marysol. That is the end of the episode, okay? Give me a thumbs up, like and share, comment and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.